Time now for the food and drink scene in Switzerland in The Food Scout with Amy Eber. And Amy, in a previous episode, you talked about your visit to a Swiss water buffalo farmer. If people didn't hear that, you went to Emmental. It was great. You can check it out online, worldradio.ch. And today, though, you're going to tell us how the water buffalo milk is used.
Yeah, I spent part of an afternoon with this lovely and talented cheese-making family in Schangnau. This incredibly beautiful village is encircled by these stunning mountain ranges, including the impressive 2,196-meter Hohgant mountain, after which the small business is named. Herr Aegerter makes numerous cheeses from local cow, sheep, and water buffalo milk. I was particularly interested in his use of all three to make different types of mozzarella.
Well, I don't know the specifics, but I know that making mozzarella is different from other cheeses, perhaps even more difficult. Can you tell us how it's made, what's involved?
Yeah, it really is one tricky process that involves a lot of skill, and it really did take the cheesemakers from this area a while to figure it out. It just takes so much finesse and constant fine-tuning, even when using a machine as an aid. A very, very simplistic description of the by-hand procedure begins with the curdling of the milk, which is then drained to the liquid whey. You're left with the curds, and those are chopped or ground. Hot water is then added, and it's stirred and stirred until the curds pull together, and they kind of resemble this big rubbery mass. At this point, the mass is kneaded like bread dough until a smooth and shiny paste is formed. Strands are lopped off and then manipulated to form the individual balls. Mazzare, by the way, means to lop off in Italian. So these balls are then left to float in brine and absorb some of the salt. Marcus, as with many cheesemakers, uses a machine to assist in the stirring and kneading, but it's still far from an easy automated process if you want to obtain a final product that doesn't resemble a rubber ball.
Okay, so actually what makes it so tricky?
Oh, man, there are many. Seasonally, the milk differs based on what the animals are eating. In summer, they eat grass. In winter, they eat hay and sometimes grain. And all this changes how the milk reacts during this production process. Winter milk, he told me, was the trickiest. Not only does seasonal eating affect the milk, but also where the animal is in lactation. He also told me that working with buffalo milk is the trickiest of all three. So, of course, I've been studying charts showing composition comparisons between cow, sheep, and buffalo milk, and it's actually pretty interesting and highlights why all these milks react so differently to the exact same process and why there's such skill and fine-tuning involved. And I won't quiz you on this when it's over, but buffalo milk has double the fat of cow milk, whereas the fat content of sheep milk kind of falls right in between the two. Protein is highest in sheep milk and lowest for cow milk, but the calcium's significant higher in the buffalo milk, followed closely by sheep milk, with cow milk a distant third. And while buffalo milk is highest in calories, the cholesterol is significantly higher for cow milk.
Well, have you done a side-by-side comparison?
What do you think? Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. So you must have. So you've had the buffalo, the sheep, the cow, and you're eating them, and they taste different.
All of them. Yeah, they really do. Marcus produces about 4,000 kilo a year of the buffalo mozzarella and 200 a year of the sheep milk mozzarella. He'll occasionally make a cow milk mozzarella if there's milk left over after making his other cow milk cheese varieties. The water buffalo mozzarella is reputed to be the finest quality, and I've always loved its delicate taste and its texture. The cow milk produces a less flavorful, more rubbery textured cheese, but my daughter pointed out it melts much better in pizza than any of the others. The sheep milk version really interested me. It's kind of halfway in taste and texture between the buffalo and the cow mozzarella. Cow mozzarella is always the cheapest, and Marcus told me he pays roughly now 70 rappen per liter for cow milk. But the buffalo milk is 3 francs 20 per liter, and it's exactly the same for the sheep. So then I couldn't understand why someone would buy the sheep over the more delicate buffalo mozzarella for the same price, and he told me that lactose-intolerant people can tolerate the sheep version.
Oh, okay. So I'm on board with the sheep version. My lactose intolerance will put me Okay, and the sheep version, and I can go back. You can quiz me on this, Amy. I'm on it.
Okay.
That the sheep milk is in between the cow milk and the buffalo milk on the fat list.
Yeah.
On the protein list, the buffalo milk is the highest, the sheep milk second, and the cow the lowest. Calcium.
Wow.
Sheep milk higher than buffalo and cow milk, and yeah, there you go. How about that?
Okay,
and
you
cholesterol.
You took notes.
Yeah, I did. I totally took. When you said I'm going to test you, I was ready. I was on board. So, does Marcus make any different types of cheese?
Well, yeah, he actually also makes a buffalo milk semi-hard cheese. And if listeners want to try his mozzarella or the buffalo versions available at many of the Cope stores in Region Bern and Basel, he also makes a lot of cow milk cheeses, including one with nuts, which is actually available at Cope stores throughout the country, and one with an Edelweiss infusion.
All right, that's the Food Scout this week. My thanks to Amy Eber. You can get more information on buffalo milk mozzarella at our website, worldradio.ch.